January 8th, 2026. Good morning, Joe. How you doing? Let's have some fun today. I've been having fun for the last 7 weeks, having fun on TikTok and all kinds of things. Answering questions and telling people what to do. What a good concept. Now, I'm Ray Reynolds, the godfather of credit. What does that mean? I built $60 billion of credit for my clients and myself over the years. Having fun. Now, I've been around a long time. This will be my 50th year, 50 years, helping people 6 days a week, believe it or not. Okay? If you don't know me, get to know me. I want to get to know you and have some more fun at the same time. We get to play the game, we get to win. So let's write down winning the game of business. One of my first series years ago. How about the credit game, winning the credit game? One of my series I did too. See, today, the ability is to repackage you. I'd like you to listen and learn and understand you're trying to find some things for yourself and figure some things out, which is great. I think the biggest problem we have to do is go back to basics, okay? Now, in the late 70s and 80s, part of the 90s, we're going to go back personal credit first. Phase one is you. Looking at yourself today, and what do? You take a tablet and a pen, and you get ready to begin, and you write down today's date. It is January 8th, 2026. This year, if you listen and learn, I'll get you to the $1 million dream. I'll guarantee it. I will tell you more things than you've ever learned in your life, and I'll even guarantee that too. We get to play the game. Now, let's pretend today you're going to listen 100%. What does that mean? Today, you get a paycheck. Your paycheck is taxed, you get the leftover. Okay. The reality is everything you touch again is tax, and probate when you die. But bottom line for you, I don't think you know what you're doing anyway, in my opinion. I created my first $1 million structure, okay, when I invented Car Finder and other things back in the 70s and 80s. I created my first $1 billion structure when I was 21 years old. You're gonna have to get to know me. I've written over 67 books so far. So we get to play the game to win. Now, late 70s and 80s, I get to help Ken Yarborough. He was a security chief at TRW. Security chief at TRW. What does this mean? Some of you don't even know what TRW was. TRW became Aspirian in 96. Good morning, Don. Thank you for joining my fan club. Now, understand what this means. Today, if we focus on you first, okay? I'm going to tell you it's God, family, money. God, family, money. That's what it's been my whole life. God, family, money. Good morning. Good morning to you too. Good morning, sir. Now, what does this mean? Today, we get a paycheck. It's taxed, okay, before we get the leftover. TRW was Thomas, Ramo, and Woolridge. They made bicycle parts in El Segundo, California, one of the areas I was raised in as a kid. They became Aspirian in 96. This is the credit bureau's information business. When I got to train Yarborough, my goal was very simple. Let's take the oldest card as history. History. That's the first thing we look at is history. Next, we look at our personal cards. You should put a sticky behind every card. You didn't learn the 29% rule and tools, which you should have learned a long time ago. So let's go about this right now. Okay, this is a 50, this is a 10. What do we mean? If we take the card in my hand today and we put a sticky in the back of the card, sticky, what does that mean? This card you should put, it's $10,000, okay? I can use $2,900 on the card, all right? But I want it between 25 and 2,900. That's 25%, all right? That's 29%. If I take this card to $3,000, I will be in the yellow and then the red. The problem with all of you, no one taught you the rules and tools that I helped set up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. All right, my 50th year helping people. So all cards, write it down, all cards fluctuate. Some of you have crappy credit. Some of you need, I'm gonna hire credit repair. Credit repair is a fraud, okay? I'm not here to be your CPA and attorney, but if you look at the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it'll tell you credit repair is not allowed to collect money up front, and they have to have a bond, and it should be nonprofit 501c3 from the IRS. But again, that's how it works. Again, these people, I'm gonna repair your credit in 10 weeks, I'm gonna do this. If you want, have somebody write stupid letters, I'm sorry to say, but stupid letters, not mine, not late. You might wanna get what's called Winning the Credit Game, the book I wrote years ago. You might also wanna get the one that says prove it or remove it. Now, for kids, for people in high school and college, I want you to get a copy of this, and it's a free download. This is free to everybody. okay? But I want it for the high school and the kids in high school and college. This goes over a lot of things, how to start your credit file, which you should have got a long time ago. And it also teaches the 29% rule, talks about personal credit, business credit, all right, how not to bring the pain home, and all kinds of other stuff. So this is called Starting Out Right. This is for the kids, high school and college. It is a free download. So if you go into the link tree, you DM me, you share the live with everybody and help me, I'll help you and give you a bunch of free goodies, okay? But it's up to you. Like the live, share the live, the whole world. That's the ultimate goal. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, we have the ability to change our lives if we choose to. So if we look at all cards fluctuate but two, okay? Now we look at the two cards that don't fluctuate, these. So I want you to write down American Express, Gold, and Platinum cards. They do not fluctuate. And I want you to understand this right up front, okay? All the silly circus and the clowns out there going, da, 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 da. You need 3 LLCs or a private trust, a big peekaboo. It's a bunch of hooey. Crap. The IRS is not your problem. You're your problem, okay? The IRS basically is going to tax you, all right, when you get your paycheck, and everything you touch is taxed again. But if you want to learn how to do tax balancing, you can actually avoid tax. Share this with 5 friends or more. That would be great. Fantastic. I love the hearts too. What does this mean? These, write it down. Gold and platinum cards do not fluctuate. Write it down again, okay? I am an affiliate to 119 creditors. I also created what's called Rapid Score and Rapid Refresh 48 years ago. I was behind the scenes in all this stuff. I also trained Carlton Sheets people, Dave Delgado, and Russ Dalby people years ago as well. Before I got to die in a coma in 2009, I was the #1 world consultant worldwide. Also, I sold more corporations than anyone on this planet to this day. Hello, back to you, Sky. All right, Guy, okay, no problem. Now understand something. If we listen, we learn, we can get past go, I believe you're stuck. If these don't, listen again, they don't fluctuate. And there's another ding dong out there in the circus and the clowns. You need to have 5 cards before you get these and a 7. Stop. As an affiliate, if I get you a 649, I can get you these cards. Now, they do not fluctuate. What does that mean? They will tell you to your face they're unlimited up to $1 million. The next thing is they have a POT. 18 years ago, I got them to do a POT. All right, that means paid over time limit. It's a double card. It does not fluctuate. All right, that means it doesn't show up as the average balance or what do you have on your credit score. A 656 or 656, I can get you these cards right away. But again, okay, what happens is very simple. I just purchased my second horse. Okay, well, that should be a division anyway. Maybe in the horse business, okay? Okay, because one of my clients, he does Arabian horses and they sell, believe it or not, I won't want to say it is, but they do. I do get one. Okay, well, the reality is we can get these. What happens again? They do not fluctuate. If I have a bad day, bad week, bad year, I'm not going to jack up the wrong card like you did. All of you, you own 2 houses. Well, the reality is that's fantastic. Good for you. I pray that they're in an irrevocable trust. Because Delia, when they sue you, they screw you over. Okay? Again, you're 620. Let's rebuild your credit. Let's do a rapid rescore. Again, this is what we need to do. 2 houses. If you're married, I hope you didn't put both of you on the damn loan because that's called dumb. You're not dumb. Okay, my bad. I said the wrong thing. How to get one. Okay. I need to set up, all right, that. Well, you need to set up a lot of things. I'm married. Great. Hopefully you did not put the house, both houses, in husband and wife. That'd be kind of stupid. Sorry, you're not stupid. You would be doing stupid. You see, when you buy a house, it's escrow, closed, homestead, trust. All right. Unfortunately, you didn't do the homestead. All right. And you didn't put irrevocable trust before you got the damn keys. And now you're stuck. If somebody slips and falls in one of these houses, they're going to come get you. If you say, oh, I got an LLC, goody for you. The LLC does not protect you. If you believe that hooey and the circus clowns out there, then you just believe dumb. An LLC, all right, does not to protect you. They sue the LLC, they will sue you. No, you didn't do both. Great. Those houses, if they're your personal houses, should have been bought through an irrevocable trust. By the way, the houses need to be transferred. Homestead first, the one you live in, and then transfer irrevocable trust, okay? You still get the write-off. See, the IRS is not our problem. The problem is you. You don't know how to play the game to win. And the lack of knowledge is our stupidness. All right. Again, buy a house or a car every year. All right. Deduct the taxes. Well, the reality is here's fruits, whatever number. Okay, fantastic. You buy a car. Well, the problem is you don't buy the car at fleet price. And then the problem is the car is jacked up 60%. The other thing is you're not letting the corporation write off the whole damn thing. You should be driving a company car. But what happened is you don't pay attention. Okay? See, the reality is we're going to teach you how to buy a car as well. Now, let's write down 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This afternoon, I'm going to show you a blueprint. Okay, yes, Matthew, I'm going to get back to the cards in a second as well as we answer questions for people as much as we can. If I miss a question, DM me. All right, subscribe. All right, give me a message and we'll get back to you the answer to the question. I'm in California. So am I. I was born in a taxi on the way to Gardena Hospital. So what? Again, it doesn't matter what planet you're in or what state you're in. So back to the cards. These do not fluctuate. If I have a bad day, week, month, or year, okay, I don't jack up the wrong damn card. Most of you have crappy credit. Most of you jacked it up and brought the score down because you know what the hell you're doing. It's just the truth, okay? So again, as we play this game, I own property in Florida. It doesn't matter where you own the property. Florida has no state tax, but they have a homestead, and you still put irrevocable trust. You see, when I was born in a taxi on the way to Gardena Hospital, my mommy and daddy didn't want me, okay? They stuck me in the trash can outside the hospital, by the way. Eventually, the hospital called and they had to pick me back up. They didn't want me at all, okay? Simple. I got to be with Mrs. Hope, she devil from hell. I got used and abused, and it sucks. Thank you for joining the fan club. So let's get past go and a crap. My credit score is 920. That's bull crap. It doesn't go past 820 unless you use it in a corporate credit report, okay? So again, let's go back to basic. Let's tell the truth. I don't have an 820 or 920. Bull crap. Mine's an 843. My wife's is an 844. Big deal. Personal credit should be boring. You should be a CFO. CFO for your personal life and your corporate life as well. So let's understand something. These don't fluctuate. Half of you have crappy credit. Half of you have lousy credit limits because you screwed up. You screwed up because you jacked up the wrong damn card in an emergency or lost your job or some stuff. That's an excuse. Okay, let's understand something. And now you're going to say it's not 820 or 850. 850 is a perfect score. But again, how's that going to happen? So again, what do? I love to hear you talk and speak, all right, in parables and everything else. Well, I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be, but God or Jesus spoke in parables too. All right, let's go back to card. Okay, if these fluctuate, all cards fluctuate, we got to put our sticky on the back. We got to dummy proof this because we're all a bunch of dummies. Okay, we all do dumb. Okay, we follow dumb all the time. On 31 filed bankruptcy, Chapter 7, 4 years ago. Congratulations. I hope you seal your record. Did you do that? Did you seal your record? It's called the Federal Protection Act. You didn't do that. So you let this company called Statewide report it to the bureaus. That's called dumb. The problem is you're still doing dumb, okay? All right, so again, these fluctuate, these do not. So let's understand this. Now, the goal, you want the American dream. You all do, right? What does this mean? If I look at myself as a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, personal, that's what my goal should be. All right, the difference is as we process this. Okay, now you're a client from years ago. Do I use a different address for division process? Use the same address in the beginning. Come on, you're a client that showed up last week and your son's watching me as well. I have total recall in most things. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my IQ is 203 at 14. I write with both hands and talk at the same time, and it rhyming all the time too. So again, bottom line is simple. What I had to do as a kid is I hid at the library because I didn't like being used and abused. I got to read books and books and books and books, okay? So created my first $1 million structure when I was 14, 15 years old, invented Car Finder. No problem. From there, we had other things that I got to do, up to $1 billion structure at 21 and 26, and just having fun. But in 2009, I got to go into coma and die and come back and help you, and they stole all my goodies. Everything was gone. So, go back to CFO. You have to get your act together first. Every one of you need a RAP or rescore. Write it down. Let's write down today's date. It's January 8th, 2026. We should think about God, family, money. God, family, money. That's what I believe in, and you believe whatever you want to. If I put my life on check, I do a wrapper rescore today, my score will go up. It'll block the crappy credit I have. If I look at my cards and I put a sticky in front of them, I dummy proof this because we're all a bunch of dummies at times. The 29% rule that I created, all right, for the credit bureau system. That's why they say below 30. Wrapper, rescore, wrapper, refresh. Rapid score, I created that for mortgage companies 48 years ago. These do not fluctuate. So if you have a bad day, bad week, bad year, instead of jacking up the wrong damn card, understand that. Your problem is you jacked up the wrong damn card. Now, there are ways to create other cards to give you courtesy checks, okay? There's ways to reduce your debt. There's ways to pay it down or increase limits. Your ultimate goal is to basically daisy chain every American Express card through corporation into more cards. You're allowed 99 cards. Write down 99 cards. I'm 24, I have an 850 score, fantastic. Why don't we basically structure what if you have LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, or PC, why don't we basically structure that with divisions and let's get you 100,000 a month income. See, I think what you do is wrong. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna tell you how I do things. I don't understand why you don't allow me to get you these cards here. This is a $150,000 line of credit at the banks. There are 4 banks that'll do this all the time. And I don't need tax returns if it's done correctly. So if I turn around and I take what's called checkbook money, let's write down checkbook money, and I put basically $25,000 in an escrow, I can own 25% of a Wendy's restaurant. I can own a storage unit, a laundromat, a car wash, okay? Years and years ago, 40 years ago, I wrote the first book, okay, at car washes, laundromats, printing, and my payphone business. I ended up owning 22,000 payphones. That was $6 million a month, okay, to the corporate structure. I believe in auto income. I'd like you to write down auto income. I'd like you to learn how to play my way because I think your way sucks. Is that okay if I'm going to tell you the truth? Going to the library as a kid and reading about 15 books a week is what I did. Now, I went to school and I got all the pieces of paper and blah, blah, that too. Anybody can go to school and memorize the answer and pass the test. Life teaches you life when it kicks your ass at. Okay? Unless you're going to school to be a doctor, the reality is it's going to just be paper. So the reality is very simple. As we play the game is how to play the game to win. So life kicks our assets. My favorite people that I ever studied was John D. Rockefeller. The Rockefellers knew how to do an irrevocable trust and how to take money from generation. He's sitting on live with 6 views. Well, no, the reality is this is basically on one passport. I've got 362 on this one. All right, but I'm on all platforms, okay? But again, you want to be negative, be negative. Okay, that's up to you. All right, I want to broadcast nationwide. I've been having fun for 6, literally weeks. This is my 7th week to play the game to win. And the reality is it's very simple as we play this game to win. So again, look at all the platforms, sir. I have 17,000 followers, by the way. But I've only done this for basically literally 7 weeks. So how am I doing so far? There's a turd up here, okay? There's always a turd. We got turds everywhere, okay? So let's understand. The reality of life is, do you want to change your life? It's going to be up to you, okay? See, I didn't do this social media thing like most people did, like all of you or something. I'm the 2nd largest advertiser in California, 32 years, okay? So I got 100 pictures of rich and famous. This is one of our walls of fame. There's one of the presidents, United States of America, Fishborn and Mama, their clients, okay? But again, I can talk about Lakers, Clippers, and Dodgers, and Angels. But I also am the largest registered agent in the world, and I've helped 50 million people literally understand how to play the game to win. 50 million division process. So again, life is a numbers game, and you can play the game to win if you want to. But again, how do we do that? We have to listen and learn, okay? You see, you're going to deal with negative all your life, okay? You had friends and family probably knock you down and kick your assets. Maybe rip you off, okay? No fun at all. What do we get to do? We have to understand today it's very simple. Oh, you're number 177? Great. I have people joining my fan club and other things as well, like TikTok. It's kind of fun. I like helping people. That's my concept, okay? So, all right. Uh, Again, I don't like the circus out there. I think there's a bunch of clowns. They got to give me more room over here, okay? Unfortunately, they don't so far, but I will say that too. As we develop our social media department that goes to help people like you. Is that okay today if you pay attention and write some things down? Okay? Because you have the ability to basically help yourself if you want to. All right? It's basically we're talking and have some more fun as well. Okay? So let's understand today. If we look at credit cards, they fluctuate. Okay, what does that mean? If I don't pay attention as a CFO for my personal life and my business life, I'm going to be screwed up. But again, let's go back in time. Okay? Time. 1976, this is my series. Okay? So I'm new to social media. I wanted to try it 7 weeks ago, see how it worked out for me. Okay, I advertise and write checks for millions of dollars all the time, being the second largest advertiser in California at times. So again, this is called winning the game of business. So if we want to use the old school, that's fine. But the reality is, this is 1976, by the way. This is me, literally, in 1976, trying to tell the world how you can do things to help yourself. And that's what I did, how to help you. So again, I'm driving a Lamborghini back then, having some fun, going to West Coast College. I got sucked into a government program because at T. Wicklow Junior High, I was tested 3 times. Third time I was tested, all right, I was wearing my gym shorts because they kept thinking I was cheating. Again, my score is 740. Well, let's turn that into a $1 million company. See, all of you can talk all day long, but the problem is you're missing pieces. Let's give you some pieces, okay? If we take our personal credit today, and we put a sticky at the back of the card. Sticky is very simple. $10,000 card, I can use $2,900 or $25,000. That is the sweet spot. When I helped set up the system with Ken Yorber in the 70s and 80s, the reality is Ken had working for me and having fun. And this is what we have to understand. Having fun at the same time. All right, it's like back then. Here's some of his canceled checks to Ken Yarborough. Here's where I sued the Better Business Bureau and proved they were fraud. Simple, fraud, because they're basically a fraud even today. So let's go back and understand you have the ability to change your life. Your credit score is at 470. Well, you told me last week that you had basically, had a stroke, okay, and you're back online because you're a client 30 years ago and your son's watching this as well. Let's rebuild you. Remember, if you've known me for 30 years, I have total recall on those things anyway. I don't forget things like you do. Okay, sorry, but it's true. Sticky. If I use 29% on the cards, then I can maintain my score. My score. Understand, then I get more. Now, what does this mean? We have to have the discipline. Everybody keeps talking about the IRS, tax. Stop. The IRS is not the problem. You're the problem. Your lack of knowledge is your stupidity. Sorry, I don't like to say that too much, but it's real true. Say hi. Well, say hi back to you. Appreciate your help. Well, that's good. Most people do. 99% do. 1% doesn't like me, but not everybody likes you as well. Okay? So the reality is going on to amazing memory. Oh, just the way God made me. I'm weird. Okay? When I was a kid, they told me I was retarded because I rhyme all the time. I write with both hands at the same time, and I recall everything. And they told me I was dumb. Yeah, right. Okay. If we have the CFO mentality, Chief Financial Officer for family, first thing is God, family, money. When I say family, it means husband and wife, because my wife and I became one decades ago. Got it? Decades. I have 6 beautiful children, 5 girls and a boy, and I had a lot more hair before. But again, you go crazy with that. It's okay. Now, if I get to CFO level, what does it mean? Life, personal life. Our paycheck is tax, and then we get to pay tax and everything else we do. And it sucks. But your paycheck, listen carefully, should be your lifestyle, and you should break even. You need to do tax balancing. Your biggest problem for every one of you is your lack of knowledge is, so I would call you stupidity, and you're not stupid, you just fall stupid. Now, this is what we have to understand. Okay, let's draw this. This is basically balancing, okay? This is the IRS. Now, I was told it's not backwards, and I was told it was backwards. So, I don't know. Again, I'm new to social media. I'm a guy that writes checks for millions of dollars, advertise radio and TV nationwide, which I am today, and the reality is very simple, okay, as we do these things. So again, if it's backwards, sorry. If it's not backwards, great. Because I can't get someone to be consistent to tell me on what platform, blah, blah, blah. This is tax balancing. We're going to write the word banks now. I hope you have a tablet and pen, because you should. Banks. Banks basically bankrupt 22,000 locations last year. They have branch numbers. These are branch numbers, okay? It's like someone said they filed a bankruptcy. That's Federal Protection Act. Did you seal your record? All right, because you did not, because no one taught you how to play the game, you have this statewide company reporting to the credit bureaus. Credit bureaus do not talk to courts. This is BS. But your problem is your lack of knowledge is your stupidity. All right, you can write, it is regular. Okay, fantastic. Love to hear that. I just want to make sure I'm not writing backwards. Thank you. I appreciate your input. Now, this is a corporate umbrella, okay? The banks are basically using tax balancing. Your problem is your lack of knowledge is why you bring the pain home. I'm sorry. I know how to create millions and billions. If you'd like to listen, you could, and it's free, okay? Even though I get one turd once in a while giving me crap. Well, there's always a turd. They're part of the circus. They're the ones following. You need 3 LLCs. All right, don't buy a property, but I got 250 million, blah, blah, blah. He's the biggest clown out there. It's ridiculous. They're not helping people. They're helping rich. No. I don't want you to be rich. I don't want you to be rich. I brought in my first $1 million structure. All right, by the way, when I started Helping Hand Industries when I was 9 years old. Look it up on Secretary of State, California. Okay, I'm one of those guys that can verify everything he says. I'm not full of crap. So understand, what do I do? Very simple, okay? This is winning the game of business. This is what I wrote in 1976. But this was corporation to corporation. That's 76, okay? I changed the rules in basically 84 because I didn't like it. No, because they wanted to charge me franchise tax fees. I didn't like franchise tax fees. So again, today, as I reach other things here, eventually they're going to help set up a better system in my office because right now it sucks, okay? When it comes to grabbing books, they're going to build me a shelf. But again, like I said, I just started social media 7 weeks ago. I got to find out if I like it or not, okay? But again, that's when I was born, 1984. Fantastic, great. I was born a long time before that. 84, I got married, my first wife. Again, that was a mistake too. In some ways it was good or bad. So, let's think about this today. The goal is this. If we treat ourselves as a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, personally, we look at our first credit cards, they fluctuate, sticky behind the card. I'm the guy that helped set up the system behind the scenes in 70s, 80s, and 90s while I'm training Ken Yarborough. I said, this card, okay? I said 25% rule. If you jack up a card past 29%, you're the yellow, you're the red. Thank you for all the loves and everything else. I appreciate that. Okay, and you can like and give hearts as well all day long. It'd be great. If you help me help you, help other people, I'll stay on social media. If I find that it doesn't pay off or basically help people, then I'm going to say goodbye. At least I tried it for 7 weeks. See, I don't have to work, okay? You understand this? I don't need your money, all right? I make my own millions and billions. I always have my whole life. I don't count on people. I count on me. When I wrote this last year, it's very simple. It's called Starting It Right. It's a free download. Free. Okay? So again, I want to get all the platforms to play and have some fun with everybody if I can. This is called Starting It Right. It's a free download. This is going to talk about marriage. It's going to talk about personal credit, don't buy things jointly, and all the silly things you do. And it's going to talk about the 29% rule. You, okay, signed the SS5 form where mommy did. Now, what does that mean? Okay, you go to the link tree. It's very simple. Link tree. Click the link below. Link tree. Get to Ray Reynolds and understand. Have fun. You need help. We all need help. Problem is you're watching the circus out there. You're watching a lot of clowns out there going blah, 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 blah. Now, it is 3:48 in the morning here, Pacific Standard Time. I'm up every day at 1:45. I need 3 hours sleep and 4 at the most. That's it. That's what I've done my whole life. If you want to play real, I'm online twice a day. Okay? 5 days a week. And on Saturday, I get 6 classes. So if you want the truth, I've been helping people for 49 years. Where the blank have you been? Okay? 49 years, 6 days a week. Where the hell you been? It's very simple. If you get this book, get it to your kids in high school and college, and read it yourself, because this is where you screwed up. You all screwed up, sorry. That's what it is. See, years and years ago, sorry, I'm going to grab over here. They're going to build me a shelf. If no, I'm going to scream my head off. Okay? Years ago in the credit bureaus, okay, it's very simple. You saw consumer credit counseling in one of my companies. That's right, that was mine too. If we play the game to win. When Ken Yarborough and I wrote a book in 1987, I didn't like the book. It was called File Segregation, New File. I didn't like it. Ken wanted to lie, in my opinion. So what did we do? Now, the back of my books, you always would see, I hold the highest kick in planet Earth, 13 feet. Fastest kick as well. There's one of the cars in the 21 car collection. There's one of the mansions, and there's one of the yachts, okay? I'm one of those guys that's not full of crap. How's that? The circus out there is blah, 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 every friggin' day. The next thing is I wrote Prove It or Remove It. Prove It or Remove It was for people to help themselves. All right, then I wrote basically what's called Winning the Credit Game. It's a free download as well, by the way. How's that? Then the next version, okay? So I wanted like a chess game, became a chess master when I was 13. Nobody would play with me because I see visions and I can see the move before you made the damn move. Didn't like that. Oh, well. So if we listen and learn today and listen and we pay attention, all right, about you being a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, this is a 10 and a 50. Let's understand. This is 10. Stick you behind the card. All right, I cannot use this card past $2,900. Hey, Ray, hey, back to you. All right, so the route is very simple as we play this game. So as we look at things, very simple. All right, it is God, family, money, God, family, money. Okay, I won't even respond to the stupid question, okay? So the reality is God, family, and money. Okay, my wife and I have been together for decades as well. 6 great kids, 5 girls and a boy. So if I put 29% on this, very simple, we can have some fun, and that's what the ultimate goal should be. I want to help everybody. Is that okay? I just want to make a comment so we can block some turd, all right, making stupid comments. There's always an idiot somewhere. I'm stuck. Worst LLC nightmare. I love your information. Well, just follow through. See, you got 6 categories, all right? Let's write them down so you can take a picture and write them down for yourself, okay? You have an LLC, okay? You can have an LLP. You can have an S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit. You can also have a PC as a professional corporation. So there are 6 types of entities the Supreme Court says is a legal person. A legal what? Person. So if we listen to Supreme Court, they deemed it to be a legal person, and that's what you have to understand. So if we turn around today and we repackage ourselves personally, and we look at the credit score and we rebuild it with the rapid rescore, okay, build it up and away, 750 score, okay? That's easy to do. Now, the next thing is we take a entity, one of these pieces, whatever you have here, all right? Again, hopefully you draw a square with me at the same time. I would tell you to have, all right, 9 entities. For the one who was born in 1984, this is what changed my life in 84. Now, I had satellite television. I'm the largest manufacturer distributor in the world doing millions and billions of dollars. But it's not mine, it belongs to corporations. I own Shakey's Pizzas, 31 flavors, ice cream place, okay? Subway, shopping centers, and condos. My problem in 84, I got a letter in the mail. That's the year I got married the first time. I married a beautiful woman, graduated from Biola University. I wanted a Christian wife. I wanted to have fun and enjoy life and have some honesty. Unfortunately, she basically cheated for the whole marriage behind my back with her ex-fiance, even though we have 4 beautiful daughters. Well, let's understand. We go through you know what in life. But I have a prenup and a postnup. Now, ladies, don't get mad at that. That means I have a separation of liability. What happens is very simple. In 1980, what? Okay, 4. Division process was created in 85. Good morning, Brandy. Okay, so what I want to do is understand an agreement. Okay, an agreement to protect ourselves, because if I'm sued, I don't want my wife sued. My wife gets sued, I don't want to be sued. That's why you would have a prenup and a postnup as a marriage contract. But again, I still gave her $15,000 a week for 2 years and paid all her bills. We lived in separate beds because I didn't want to be married to her, but I wanted to raise my 4 daughters. See, there's a problem. So in 84, I had a problem and I got that letter in the mail. California sent me a letter that says I have to pay franchise tax fee. The franchise tax fee, okay, literally it becomes, what happens? Up to $1,000 per corporation. No, money comes first. So then you're an idiot, okay? I'm sorry, I'm not going to say, I don't know if anybody's an idiot, but he says God's not first and family's not first, it's money. All right, that's wrong. See, that's the problem of need and greed and being stupidity. That's not long term. That is never long term, okay? That's just basically careless and being silly and dumb, in my opinion. But again, we get, I call ding-dongs or turds all the time. But what do? Let's understand something flat out. If we structure ourselves correctly, it's God always first because he created us. My wife and I became one 20 years ago, so it's family. God, family, money. If you don't like it, go find someone else to listen to who's going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning helping you. That doesn't exist, by the way. And I'm online all the time, twice a day. Find someone. You won't find one. Me. My goal is I want to help you change your life. So it's simple. I did not want to pay franchise tax fee. I went to Sacramento and I created something. They gave me a choice. Our state capital in California says you can create a form or modify one. And that's what they told me. I found a form that they didn't do right anyway, and I modified it because it said husband, wife, and partner at the time. So if you listen very carefully, okay? All right, eventually I'll send you one of these mouse pads because there's your future, by the way. There's your future. All right, every one of you are entitled to $100,000 a month through a division process, $100,000. Let's continue this little blueprint here. Today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I will do a blueprint as an example, a full blueprint of personal and business life. This is 5 here, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, let's double check. If I miss it because some turtle, oh, you only got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Every division, the way I established it in 1985, I invented division process. This means every division gets its own credit file. Its own what? Credit file. Okay? And that's what the goal is. It's its own file. So let's understand. If you have that LLC, no problem. If you had 3 properties here, one slip and fell and they sued you, you'd lose it all. If you think an LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, and all this stuff protects you, that's a bunch of hooey. It's on Secretary of State's website. Your name's right there. It's right there. They sue it, they sue you, you're the duck and sheep. You're not doing it correctly. Sorry, it's just what it is. Divisions give you the line of defense. So what do? If every division has its own credit file, and we create a line of defense right here, line of defense, corporate umbrella, this becomes a management company, So let's write down management company. So let's understand the ability to play the game. Do you want to win or not? See, the problem if you had the one lady has 2 houses, great. If you have them both under you, because that's what you have, all right, I had 36 mansions at one time having fun. But I also was controlling $2.2 billion in real estate, having more fun too. So again, as you accumulate assets and everything else, so what do? Understand something. We have to protect ourselves. The IRS is not the problem, you're the problem of your lack of knowledge. You have to do tax balancing. To homestead or a farm. Well, the reality is depends how you set it up. Okay, find out if you're state and city or homesteadable, okay? Which you should always be able to do anyway. Escrow close, homestead trust should have been done before you got the keys where you live today, if you own the house. But you didn't do it that way. Okay, again, a management company. All right, Miss Candy, you've been here a couple of times, so all right, pay attention. All right, do the blueprint I talk about at 3 o'clock every day, helping people structure themselves. I have an LLC, fantastic. Okay, you have 9 types of LLCs. What kind do you have? There's 9 types. Okay, so I'm always going to go back to basics of, all right, God, family, money. Someone else basically says money comes first. No, it does not. Because if you don't have a purpose, you're self-centered, blah, 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 and it doesn't work. The more you give, the more you get. Do you understand that? See, I think. Okay, well, again, no, that's an LLC. You have 9 types of LLC. Okay? So we have to look at what type of LLC you have, what structure. Amen to that, amen back to you. So if we focus on what we're trying to accomplish to help people, and that would be the goal, helping people. Okay, and that's the goal. I have over 2,100 likes this morning. Okay, on one, and the other one has basically a handful. That's great too. What is our goal? 9 types of LLC. That's correct. Again, that's in structure. So if we have LLC, LLP, S Corp, C Corp, Nonprofit, PC, that is, Supreme Court says it's a legal person. It entitles us to create division process. Each division under it would have its own credit files. Okay? If you have 3 houses that you lease out, you'd put them under divisions. Okay? So this means that division here, in a house, whatever else. Okay? Now remember something. When I owned my Shakey's Pizzas, in the beginning it was corp to corp, then I put them as divisions. I bought my first Jack in the Box when I was 19 to corporate structure. I like boring and steady. See, boring and steady creates an ability for you to get up to $100,000 a month. Unfortunately, what you do is you listen to all the circus and clowns out there going blah, 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 and I'm online 6 days a week trying to help you explain this to you as well. You can follow and all of the link tree and click the link below, get to know me, call the numbers, call the office, they'll help you as well, and also subscribe as well. So what do you get to do? We go back to basics, okay? Every one of us have the ability to change our lives. All right, this was a 76. This is basically winning the game of business. That was corp to corp. I changed the rules and tools. You have to realize winning the credit game is a free download to everybody as well. Because I don't want you hiring credit repair companies trying to rip people off. Okay, years ago was consumer credit counseling on all the bureaus. My company, again, I rechanged the variations of winning the credit game, red, then I made it a chess game. Because why? I became a chess master at 13. When I wrote the book with Yarborough, I did not like, all right, file segregation. But again, I'm the guy that held the record for the highest kick on planet Earth in 1981, and that's one of the cars in the 21 car collections, and some of the mansions and some of the yachts. Hell, why not? See, your problem is you, all right, need to quit listening to the circus and the zookeepers out there and the clowns. This is the free download for everybody. Why? Because I want people to change their lives. I want you to understand the 29% rule, okay? 29% rule. Because I created it behind the scenes when the credit system got started. Your problem is your lack of knowledge is your stupidity. You're not stupid, but you follow them all the time. Back to being CFO for you, Chief Financial Officer. All cards fluctuate, but 2, sticky time. 29% on a $10,000 card is $2,900. 25 is $2,500. Again, this is the oldest card and the 28% rule because you need it sticky. You got to dummy proof this. The next thing is, these are, and I use my wife's cards because there's always a turd. You really have the card, Ray? There's always dumb everywhere, okay? These are my wife's cards. They're $100,000 paid over time limit, unlimited to $1 million. Why? Why not? Now understand something, okay? These are the cards you would use, and you have no blankety day, month, or year. You have to understand. Ignore the idiots, okay? Well, let's see. All right, cards, please pay on the people. Ignore God to the big old mess, all right now. Can't wait to pay and crap off and be done. Well, the reality is before you pay it off, do a rapid rescore, okay? Write down rapid rescore, rapid refresh. I created that too 48 years ago, okay? Every card is entitled to 99 more cards. American Express tells that to your face every time you log onto their dashboard, okay? So the reality is very simple as we play this game. If we take, this is 100,000, understand? And we get 9 of these, 1 per every division, you will have American Express, $1 million of credit on a damn gold card. A platinum card. Again, what do? We play the game to win. I'm an affiliate. I'm not going away. I'm just going to grab something, okay? Because I'm going to make sure I order a shelf today because I'm tired of grabbing stuff for the last 7 weeks and it's not organized. I hate that. I can't stand it. There is over 62 million of live credit to my dashboards. I'm an affiliate to creditors. Got it? I can use my credit to help you as well as history. I do not believe in basically what they say out there, and it's simple. They call it trade line crap. I don't like trade line crap, okay? So, the goal would be, if you set up the right structure here, manage the entities, and I will add you to one of my escrows. I have over $1 billion of escrows this year already. I'm going to have about $5 billion this year. Your problem is you. Do what you do to make your money, that's fine. What if I said I get you a line of credit for $150 and I asked you to write a check to an escrow? Would you do it? Okay? Would you do it? It's very simple. If you wrote a check to an escrow, you'd own basically 25% of this storage unit right here. That gives you $3,200 a month for the rest of your life. $3,200 a month, and it goes up and away. Your life. If I put you in one of these other projects here, now I wrote the first books on laundromats and car washes years ago. So let's understand something. What we need to do is understand and play the game. What does this mean? Very, very simple. Okay? All right, you got clients of mine out there going, you got a car wash, all right, laundromat. No. Nobody works at the laundromat or the car wash. What they do is have a management company. So what happens? You invest into that project. That gives you up to $3,200 a month. If I put you in other projects as well, you can get up to $10,000 a month. Not to you. Not to you. This one's $2.9 million. I put 9 people in this. 9. We each wrote a check for $100,000 off a line of credit. Let's write it down. Borrow money is not taxable. Write it down. Borrow money is not taxable. Okay? Write down debt offsets taxes. Debt offsets taxes. So the IRS is not the problem. The problem is your lack of knowledge. Your paycheck is taxed. We know that. All right? You get taxed. The only way to get taxed back on that is your tax return because you own a house. That's it. So you're not going to listen to the clowns out there. Don't buy a house. I got money. I tack on my ears, my butt. Yeah. Never seen such a circus in my life. It's ridiculous. You're going to do tax balancing. Okay? That's what you're going to do. Then you're going to have your corporation brings in millions and billions like I do. You're not going to pay any tax. Debt offsets taxes. Borrow money is not taxable. And you're going to get $100,000 a month. Okay? Every division is going to get up to $10,000 each. All right? We're going to get up to $100,000 a month auto income. Then you can have an irrevocable trust because my favorite people I would study was John D. Rockefeller. Now, I studied rich and famous people as a kid. I had to. I hid at the library because I didn't like being used and abused. And the reality is I was a friggin' orphan, didn't get a mommy and daddy like most of you, so don't take it for granted. Okay? Love your family. I didn't get one until I finally got married in 84. And then I found out she's a cheater. The Bible says I can take her outside. What? But you can't do that. So the difference is I stayed with my ex-wife for 12 years in separate rooms, or separate beds, because I had to raise my 4 daughters. Okay, and that's what happened. Then I got married 20-some years ago. Okay, what happens? Simple. Okay, my wife's my rock. She's everything. She's a crazy Colombian girl. Okay, but again, that's how it happens. Genius, well, the reality is God's genius, not me. They did say I was a genius at 14 with an IQ of 203. Is that okay? But I end up rhyming all the time. Sorry to say, but it's true. What happens is very simple. Daddy, Jesus loves you, all right, kings. Well, the reality is God loves all of us. That's all you understand. Today, being here is a gift because I'm alive. Okay? You're in your first marriage, then make it work. Have a prenup and postnup. Do not buy things jointly. When you buy things jointly, it's called stupid. Okay? God made you one. Everything is separate. Have a backup for a backup. Plan the problem. Plan the problem. All of you plan the problem because you have to. Okay? So guess what happens? Okay? A black person could never get that. Okay? I don't understand that. I had that problem with Steve Harvey when we were on The Beat years ago. Steve said colored lines. I said, no, we have to be color blind. God made people, not colors. And he went out with his big white teeth. Okay? But he's kind of a turd anyway, in my opinion. What can I say? God tells you to have a what? Prenup? No. God tells us to have a separation. Just understand. Let's go back after I coma. I died 2009, came back 2011, writing big checks to radio and TV again and again. Very simple. What happens? All right, here's David Kenner, and then basically arguing with the tax person. I'm trying to get my stuff back. David Kenner. David Kenner owns Death Row Records and helps Snoop Dogg and all these other people, and then a lot of those are my clients as well. In the tax, he says, Mr. Reynolds has a prenup and postnup. See, what happens is it separates liability. They said, well, let's give your wife a tax bill. They could not. All right, if you love your spouse, have a prenup and postnup that just says a cheat clause. You cheat, I get it all. I cheat, you get it all. But what happens is very simple. If you have a cheat clause, you're okay. got basically married 20 years ago. Okay, it's scrolling too fast. Let's slow it down a little bit. Ay. All right. And I got a divorce at 22. Well, sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, it depends on the person you marry. Okay, we become one. Unfortunately, my ex-wife, I still loved her ex-fiance, and they had that affair behind me, and I found out that on Christmas Day, by the way. Isn't that fun? But again, I stayed with my 4 daughters for 12 years in separate rooms or separate beds because I wanted to keep an eye on my daughters. I have 5 daughters and a beautiful boy. I got 6 kids. I'm having fun. Again, that's the ultimate goal, having fun, right? So we should do. So understand something. God made people, okay? Not colors, the way people look at things. I think this is stupid. It's ignorance, okay? 47% of my clients are black anyway. Half of them anyway. Who cares? The only color we're going to see today is green. Got it? Green. But there's always a dummy everywhere you go. What can you say? What can you do? Skippity-dippity-doo. So what do? We focus on CFO. Now, my favorite bank will be Chase because Chase has 6 ink cards. Chase personal cards and business cards have no interest up to 22 months. It's free money. Have fun. But then what do? We get Chase Ink and we get the line of credit. We have fun with that too. We have the ability to change our life as we want to. Okay, if we want to. You want to change your life? It's up to you. So if we play the game, we use corporate credit to finance the dream. Debt offsets taxes. And what happens? We don't pay tax till we're profitable. Why did Elon Musk borrow $44 billion? Why? Because borrow money is not taxable. It offsets taxes. Debt offsets taxes. Why does Warren Buffett do the same thing? Why? Bezos, okay? So if we look at debt offsets taxes, that's how we build a business because that's how you can do tax balancing. And that's what happens. Again, tax balancing. That's what the goal should be, always. But again, you have to realize you have to go back to basics. CFO, 20% rule, okay, have up to $100,000 of credit personally. They gives you $71,000 of safety because you're going to have an old blank day, week, month, or year. You got to protect yourself. The world is going to kick your assets. You're going to fall down 1,000 times. You get up 1,001. You have no choice. We have no choice. This world's going to kick our assets. You can never give up. I didn't give up when I was shot 3 times. I haven't got up when I got knifed 6 times. I did not give up when I went in a coma in 2009, came back, and $3.7 billion was stolen. I rebuilt it again. I built $1 million of credit in 6 weeks. I bought my wife her next dream house. So we got to the bottom line to change our lives. All right. So again, as we play this game to win. All right. Once again, God made people, not colors. So let's focus on green. Okay. Get back on track up there. But again, you have to realize there's always, I call it circus and ding-dongs everywhere. We got clowns everywhere we go. Don't buy a house. Excuse me? How many you got? And you wasted $100 million? Are you crazy? House payment offsets your tax, gives you some money back on your tax return. It's the only right we really have. What if our lifestyle is our income? Listen to what I said. Lifestyle is income. Income is lifestyle. You could break even personally. But we gotta realize something. You signed an SS5 form, or mommy did, when you were born. We are bonded up to $35 million apiece. They use us and abuse us, okay? It's simple. We're bonded. When we pass away, the time of death is recorded as well. State and federal, that's how it works. We have the ability to play the game to win. And that's what we gotta do. We gotta play this game to win. We always have to. Because life is not a game to win. We want to win, but again, we go back to basics. See, I didn't know I'd end up helping people. That was not my goal. My goal as a kid was at the library to protect myself and hide from all the bullies and all the people using and abusing. When I created Winning the Game of Business, I had to take a risk because I don't like people, because all they want to do is hurt me, and I don't like that. So I stayed to myself. I don't have friends. I chose a long time ago not to have any friends at all. I trust God, I trust me and my wife. That's it. Simple. So if you have kids today, you take this here. This is a free download to everybody in the world. It's called Starting Out Right. It'll teach you the 29% rule. It'll teach you to protect yourself like your car that's registered to you today, which is called stupid. I'm sorry. All right, online you'll see you can only write off so much of your car. I don't care about the write-off. I care about the liability. If you're sued today because you get in a bumpity bump, they're going to sue you. You're going to go through the rabbit hole. They're going to tear apart your life. And if you're married, they're going to go after you and your spouse and your assets too. Your problem is you're doing dumb. The division would receive the car as a registered owner. We have to realize, okay, we have what's called the Federal Protection Act. I'm not here to be CPA an attorney, but I'll teach you basically what. If I have a problem with the division, I'm going to disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and bankrupt a piece. Keep the other pieces. Banks, grocery stores, and cities do it every day. So again, all right, consumer credit counseling was on the credit bureaus years ago. One of the companies I had. Simple. How do we help people? We teach them the structure. Winning the credit game. Hell, that's a free download too. I don't want you hiring credit repair because that's a fraud. They indicted Daniel in the credit repair cloud because you only go business. All this crap out there you can get in the credit repair business. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, you have to look at it. You're not allowed to collect money up front. It's a fraud. Okay, you have to have a bond, be nonprofit. But again, they're not doing it the right way anyway. They're writing stupid letters. Not mine, not late. Wow. I wrote Prove It or Remove It a long time ago. The next thing is the book that Ken Yarbrough and I wrote, File Segregation. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way that Ken wanted to bend the rules a little bit. But his thing was always back to me is, Ray, the vision process takes 90 days. I don't care. What do I care? 90 days. If you have bad credit and you jacked up your situation, what you do is you get supply credit, turn it into cash, and pay down your debt to ratio. I created Winning the Credit Game. It's a free download, like I just said. The first version was red, okay? Back of every book showed basically the truth, the stories. It said Ray Reynolds, the highest kick, all right, 1981, 13 feet in the air, simple, 2 feet and jump to light. One of the cars in the car collection, one of the mansions, one of the yachts, why not? See, I'm the real deal. The reality is you keep watching circus and clowns out there. You might just want to repackage yourself. And that was one of my companies years ago, Repackage America. I gave Don King Only America for his book and his movie. So if we look at fluctuation today, that would be the ultimate goal. We don't want our credit to fluctuate and screw it all up. Unfortunately, your lack of knowledge is why you bring the pain home. So again, what do? Okay? Regina, I need you to listen and pay attention and follow through. All cards fluctuate but two. What do? All cards fluctuate but two. Once again, stick you behind the card. If you take a card past 29%, 20%, what happens is very simple. You jacked up your credit, you dropped your score. You lost your job, you panicked. You had a bad day, bad week, bad year, whatever. It doesn't last forever. But if we do this correctly, these cards don't fluctuate. So if we understand Gold and Platinum American Express cards do not fluctuate, they have a paid overtime limit up to $100,000 and they're unlimited, that's a card you should jack up when you have a no blank day. Should I wait until I move soon? I have my new address. No, do it now. What the hell's wrong? Don, what are you waiting for? I mean, here's the problem, people. Procrastination kills the dream. You kill your dreams every day. Say hi. Hi, Allison. How you doing? So again, what do? You procrastinate. You never get it done. Come on. You had the same rerun yesterday and the day before that. Stop the damn reruns, okay? Stop the reruns because the reality is ridiculous. Can you do a $1,000 dinner for two in New York? All right, I don't do dinners. I don't go to lunch and breakfast and all that crap. Never have, never will. All right, I don't take lunch. I do not go to dinner, any of that stuff, okay? So no, you can't pay me to do that because I don't need your money, okay? I work and I eat while I go because I don't have time. Can you imagine somebody in sales today? They come here, we pump them up, they're on sale, oh, then they have to take a stupid cigarette break. It's all wait, it just drives me insane. Then they basically take that balloon and go, whoo. Then they get booted again. They do this stuff all friggin' day. It's ridiculous. No wonder sales sometimes suck. Okay? I mean, I'm a person, if I didn't make a sale, I wouldn't take a break. I wouldn't go home until I did. That's a true salesman. That's a closer. How do you get started? Wrapper refresh. Write it down. Every one of you need a wrapper rescore and wrapper refresh today. Okay, let's understand. What does this mean? A rapid score blocks crap, pushes scores up. Create credit, get your debt to ratio down. That's what you need to do. Why does helping people fix their income and expense? Well, what happens is helping people. Let's rebuild the person. See, the problem you got out there, you got people doing little pieces of crap. They don't have the whole pie. God gave me the whole pie. Want to pay attention and follow through. We're going to talk about you right now from you. Here's Rich. He was here yesterday. Okay, he DM'd me as well and found out some books and some stuff. They called you immediately. Well, fantastic. Yeah, you're right. We do call people right away. DM, all right, share the live for the whole world. And by the way, my people will call you within hours or so. Can you put value to life, but or to put to paper? Well, the reality's life's not value, or God's value. We breathe today. This means we got a chance. I'm thankful. I died in a coma in 2009, came back in 2011, writing big checks again, radio and TV. I decided to start social media 7 weeks ago, see how it would play out. I have to make a decision if I want to keep doing it. Yes to God, not to government. Okay, stop. You live in the United States of America. You're going to pay tax. You have no choice. If you want to play games, then play games. One of my clients and friends, okay, played the game, went to prison for 3 years, okay? All right, Wesley Snipes, you ever heard of him before? Okay, he said he was solvent. That's BS. He listened to his idiot attorneys, all right, in Beverly Hills, California, being stupid. So let's understand, let's play. Wesley, who now? People go, who is he? He's a has-been. He used to be something. What happened? He screwed up his life. So we're not going to play with the IRS. We're going to understand them. You have no choice today. The IRS is not the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem. Paycheck is taxed. You get the leftover. House payment offsets taxes. Paycheck should be lifestyle. Lifestyle should be paycheck. You break over here and you go over here. Very simple. Okay? I'm number 42 and you're basically stuck. Okay, no problem. Let's have fun. Understand? Corporation division process. If we incorporate, and let's say I don't have a corporation, I got an LLC. I got 3 of these. Peekaboo, got a secret this, secret. Oh, good. I got a secret trust. You got this guy with this cowboy, he looks like Howdy Doody. He looks like a ding dong. I mean, I like to take Howdy Doody and put him on stage and tear him apart, knowledge to knowledge. I don't like circus clowns, to be honest with you. It bothers me. It confuses all of you. So what do we have to do is understand how to play the game. Break the system, not, all right, more, work for, all right, what? I don't know, all that, blah, blah, blah. So here's baby somebody. Okay. If you have an LLC, LLP, S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit, PC, Supreme Court says it's a legal person, which you can create division process, which is a line of defense. Your problem, you keep letting the pain come home. You're the duck and sheep. You're the duck and sheep. I don't like it. I don't like the fact you bring the pain home. See, I didn't get a mommy and daddy like you. All right? I didn't get that. I got used and abused as a kid and it sucked. Library, read. Get the paper, get the degrees, got that too. Who cares? Life teaches you life when you kick your assets. Love your line, God makes people, not colors. Well, that's Steve Harvey wanted to get me fired off the TV or the radio show with his big white teeth. Steve's kind of a jerk, okay, in my opinion. What can I say? Okay, he didn't like the fact what I told him. All right, but again, this is it, because he's Steve Harvey. I'm not all that. I'm just the guy that writes checks for millions of dollars, and the second largest advertiser in California decided to try social media 7 weeks ago. How am I doing so far? I got 17,000 followers over here. I got this followers. Okay, we'll have fun. Let's see if it works. I just want to see if I want to do it. I'm having fun right now. If I don't have fun, bye-bye. I don't need to do this in the first place. See, I choose what I want because I have everything I want. Everything. So again, we get to play the game and win. I'm young. Well, young and dumb sometimes doesn't make sense. You know, I have 17,000 followers. Did I hit 17,000 yet? That was the goal. I was trying to hit 17. I don't know what the number is right now because I'm busy talking to you. So hopefully I hit 17,000. Okay. We were gaining 1,500 followers a day, well, 1 to 2,000 a day. That was kind of fun. But again, I don't know what the number is. Maybe you can tell me what the number is. Okay. So what do we get to do? Okay, it's scrolling too fast. Let me see if I can slow it down, not screw it up. Stronger than through, like said, break system, not more than okay, work for it. Okay. Well, I don't know about all that blah, blah, blah. All I know is if we do tax balancing, we can pay almost no tax personally. And a corporation doesn't pay tax or entity till it makes a profit. Borrow money's not taxable. Debt also is taxes. What I have taught rich and famous people to do over 49 years. This is my 50th year this year. Having fun trying to help people. Now let's write down, okay, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. VP Properties, you were here the other day. Okay, I hear you're getting into a program. Fantastic. I need you to restructure my life. Well, I'd like to do it for everybody, Judy. You were here the other day as well. Now, today, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to give you an example blueprint on this board. Okay, blueprint. That blueprint is going to help you change your life in the right direction. Thank you for joining the fan club. I love that. I love the fact that I'm trying to help people and help every one of you. Okay, it starts at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Look at the clock right now. It is 4:25 in the morning here. 4:25. Okay, that's what it is. 4:25. I'm up every day at 1:45 in the morning. I'm usually online by 3:15 having fun with people. I need 3 or 4 hours sleep. That's about it. I'm just having fun. And we're going to see how this works out, okay? 190,000 fans this morning. Fantastic. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Follow the live. Share with everybody. That would be the goal. Hopefully I don't drop this. So I'm not trying to drop it. All right, hopefully I don't. I bought this new stick to have fun. Wow. I had to buy 4 of them. 3 of them sucked. They were terrible. They weren't what they said they were going to be. Okay. So we're going to walk around the office, and then in a couple of minutes, I'm going to say bye-bye to you and hope and pray to God you share the live. You get all your friends and family here to add. Say hi. Hey, Allison, how you doing? It says Allison Redhead. Okay, fantastic. As we play this game to win. So, again, peekaboo, the lights are going to go on as well as I walk through the building, okay? So the goal today is to help people like you. What does that mean? We all need help, okay? If God didn't help me, I couldn't help you. So the reality is what we need to do. We should play the game to win. And I call it winning the game of business. And that's an important thing for all of us. So if you ever get into one of my free downloads, or you get into any of my programs, you're stuck with me. All right, if you get into a program, ask them for a free mouse pad, okay? Okay? This shows you your future right there. Why? Because it's going to be 9 divisions, a entity controlling the entities that gives you up to $100,000 a month. Your whole life should be $100,000 a month. That's what it should be today, $100,000 a month. That's what you should do. But that's through a corporation, receiving the money. When you receive the money through the corporate structure, no taxes due till you're profitable. Let's write it down. You're taxable when you're profitable. You're profitable when you're taxable. How's that? So if we look at things and we do tax balancing, we could play the game to win. I want you to win the game of business. What does that really mean? It means we get to win, okay? If money is received as a corporation or an LLC, LLP, we get to play the game, no taxes due till we're profitable. So again, what we do is look at John D. Rockefeller. He was my hero. He was my favorite when I was studied, and I studied all rich and famous anyway. But he was my favorite. He still is to this day. He knew how to use an irrevocable trust and not pay tax and leave money to his generation of families and $10 billion. Okay? How not to what? Pay tax. Thanks for the response. This is a per report, sometimes else. So the reality is this is free. I don't need your 20 or 30 or 40 bucks, what you're talking about. Now, I'm going to light candles in my office because I like candles. Isn't that fun? I have my own little perks that I like too. Okay. So I light mine. My wife packed my lunch. Wow. See, I don't take lunch or breaks. I just basically, she packs me food so I can eat as I go. Okay? So I take it out because she spoils me. 23 years ago, I found the greatest wife in the world. I was never going to get married again. Why would I do that? First wife is a cheating, blah, blah, blah. You can't take her outside and stone her to death, as the Bible says, so that's not nice, okay? The reality is, what do? Raise my first daughters in separate beds, all right, for 12 years, and basically dedicate myself to them as I dedicate myself to you. Again, we're going to go down the hallway. It's dark. Ooh. Let's turn on the light. Let there be light. So we get to play. Okay. So you're still watching me, so I'm going to go into the men's bathroom. I'm going to light their candle because I had to get them a new candle. And I cut the wicks at the top because Brandy says so. Is she right about that? They last longer if you cut the wick? I don't know. But I did that because she said so. I am in Georgia, all right? All right, well, the reality is, what time is it in Georgia? Here it's 4:29 in the morning. Isn't that fun? Can you imagine people sleeping in past 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning? It's ridiculous, okay? You have plenty of time to sleep. This is the women's bathroom. All right, when we're gone, you can sleep then. There's the vending machine. We got to spoil that 20% great employees. See, 80% of the employees you hire suck. It's 6:30, fantastic. So, in other words, you'll hire 100 people. 80% will be using and abusing the company, screwing up and expect to get paid still. 80% of employees you ever hire suck, okay? Our 20% push them out. I love that part. Because they'll push them out because guess what? They want their bonus money and their Christmas bonus as well. Now, here's the break room. Okay, they're having fun in the break room, okay? So as we do this, let's go over here. This is the call center. And believe it or not, if you DM me, share the live with everybody right away. What you're gonna find out is they'll call you back when they get here right away too. Our goal is to help you. On the wall, you'll see make a friend, make a buck, okay? I don't know if it's backwards or not because who knows? I'm told it is, I'm told it's not. Depends on the platform. So, make a friend, make a buck. What does that mean? If you get to know somebody and help them first before the money, then you basically help them first, and that's what I try to do. See, we all know they're going to try to sell you something. That's their job. Okay, the office has to pay their bills somehow, right? Simple. But if we help you and we get you that $100,000 of credit line today, $100,000, and you can finance your business and change your life, would that be okay? I built over $3 million last week of credit. $3 million. Wow. This is paralegal department. Okay. And they help you as well. So again, they'll help you rebuild your credit. They'll do a rapid rescore, rapid refresh. Got it? And that's fun. When I created the rapid rescore and rapid refresh system years ago, what it was very simple. Okay. Like, do you have your own bank? Well, I actually was a co-founder of a bank, Justin. Oh, this is Jordan. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. But that was before I died in the coma in 2009. So you can actually become the bank. By the way, I wrote a book, How to Become the Bank. How's that? So again, I've written 67 books so far to have fun. So here's our engineer, Daniel. He's an IT engineer. He's a little genius. And he basically helps us. He's not here right now. There's where he sits. So we can play the game. Once again, on the wall, make a friend, make a buck, because that's what we need to do is help you. If we help you first, like today, and all the goodies information I give you and repackage your life, all you got to do is follow through. See, I want to help you get $200,000 of personal credit, $100,000 of personal, $100,000 of business, and rebuild your life and finance it. I want you to finance the dream, but I want you to offset your taxes. Just started standard LLC and have excellent credit. What's next? Rapid rescore. LLC, what type is it? There's 9 of those. Okay, now you need 18 divisions. 9 divisions for 9 lines of credit. Okay, and 9 locations on them. All right, how many hours do you sleep? 3 or 4. Why would you sleep more than that? I mean, it's ridiculous. See, I had a problem when I was a kid being used and abused. I had to get up at 2:25 in the morning because the abuser would get me at 2:30. All my life, I got up at 2:25 since that happened as a kid. What did I get to do? Very simple, play the game to win. Because I started basically social media about 7 weeks ago to see if I want to do that as well, because I just write checks for up to millions and millions of dollars to being on radio and TV, and that's fun. That's easier. Just write a damn check. They show up, and what they do is just call the office of sales. I decide if I'm going to help people personally on social media. Okay, I haven't completely made that decision 100%. I want to make sure the feedback is strong for me because I want to change lives, but if it's not strong enough, why bother to do it, right? Do what works. That's me. So this is my 7th week. TikTok, I think I have 17,000 followers in 7 weeks. That's not too bad. Okay, I'd like to get to 25,000 this week. No problem. And then from there, social media, having fun, and all the other platforms too. Right now I'm giving the candy into the candy dish. I always put candy up front for people that visit our office. It seems like all the employees are too busy eating the damn candy. It's okay. Okay, they're spoiled anyway. That's what we should always spoil the employees. So again, you get to have fun and play the game. But the candy's for the people visiting us. Okay, well, I guess they want their candy as well. So I got to put their little candy dish up. And I got a bunch of Tootsie Rolls too. See, I do kind of things that make sense to me. I like making sense to myself because I'm the founder of the organization. Wow, wow, wow. There's even a picture of me on the wall. But I actually built 60 billion of credit for myself and my clients over the years. 60 billion? Yeah. You'll find out I'm the guy that's not full of crap. Unfortunately, the circus out there, there's a lot of clowns, blah, 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 with pieces. So we have 2,100 pictures, okay? There's a president of the United States of America. There's Fishborn Mama. She's sweet out of the bunch. Lakers, Clippers, and Dodgers, and Angels, and all kinds of goodies. But again, these are real signature ones, so it's kind of fun. But again, what do? We help people. Today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, in this room, in that, basically on that whiteboard, I'm going to show you a blueprint of success. I'm going to design a sample blueprint for every one of you. If you listen and learn, you can actually change your life if you want to. If you don't want to, then don't show up. It's simple. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. I like free, don't you? But again, when you get certain things from us, if you want our team to help you, of course they're going to charge you a fee. Because why not? How do they pay their damn bills? Again, bottom line is you can invest money into yourself and change your life if you want to. I'd like to get you basically $100,000 of personal credit and business credit. Using my dashboards because I'm an affiliate. An affiliate. This is good. I don't want that to spill. There we go. Okay. So again, all of you, make sure you get the free download starting out right. This is for kids in high school. Okay. It's in the link tree as well. Subscribe. Click the link below. All right. Share the bio. All right. DM me. All kinds of stuff. Someone will call you back right away. And you can change your life if you want to. But again, I'm just going to help you as much as I can, if you allow me to. So the structure is very simple. Today, our goal should be build a blueprint of success. One of my first series I wrote in 1976, Winning the Credit Game, okay, and winning the game of business. Very simple. All right, I got a lot of work to do. I got to check 19 bank accounts because it's fun. I have to check basically 19 emails to make sure people are responding to people as fast as I want them to. All right, I got to put the puzzle here. Okay. Let's see if I do it the first time. There you go. Hey, I did it. Yay! Sometimes I miss. Okay. So the goal is very simple for all of us to play the game. So let's understand what this means. If you allow me to rebuild you, I mean, if I had a piece of paper in front of myself right now, I would write down today's date. I would focus on basically it's January 8th, 2026. I would want a rapid rescore, rapid refresh. I'd want my score to go up and block the crap I have right now. I'd want to reduce my debt to ratio to 29% because all cards fluctuate. Because I have them everywhere that is. They fluctuate, we put a stick in the back of the card. Then we get gold and platinums because they don't fluctuate at all. That's what you jack up the next time so you don't screw up your credit. Send a heartbeat. Fantastic. Send heartbeats. That'd be great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, 90% people plus or 99 love me. I love that. Okay, I might just stay on. All right, all the social media just has more fun. I just get bored, okay? My wife calls this my hobby. Now, American Express cards, I'll give you 99 more if you like 99 more. That means if you have 9 plus parent company, that's $1 million of credit just on a gold or platinum card. The next thing you'd want basically lines of credit called checkbook money. These are 150s. 150. If I told you to write a check to escrow, see, I don't like those Ponzi's out there. Let me invest for you. Let me take my $60 million divided by 14,000 people, and they just got 4,200 bucks. While you go, you're rich, I'm rich, look at me. That's a circus clown out there. He's the biggest clown out there. That's what it is, okay? I don't like Ponzi's. I like the fact you would own a piece. Okay? A piece. Understand something. John D. Rockefeller set up irrevocable trust in 1934. You could actually learn to play the game if you want to. It's up to you. 1934. These are American Express cards. There's 5 million in this folder here. Okay? Every one of these people are being lined up for a what? A blueprint loan for $250,000. The client with the problem with the client is very simple. They don't have 30 transactions and hundreds of thousands of dollars a month coming in, and I do. One of my bank accounts will show them as well, more than that. So again, I helped them get a blueprint loan. Look at blueprint loan for American Express. These are Chase. These are checkbook monies. These are 150s. So if we get 150, okay, on checkbook money, or we get blueprint loan to 250, would you write a check in escrow? When I wrote the first book years and years ago, it was about payphones and laundromats, car washes. I'd like you to own a piece of something. I'd like you to own 25% of a Wendy's restaurant. 25% of a Wendy's restaurant. That's what I'd like you to do today. I'd like you to get $10,000 a month. Is that okay? You have taken what, money before? You know, hundreds of thousands, 50,000, 25, and you pissed it away. You could own 25% of a Wendy's restaurant today and get $10,000 a month to your corporation, LLC, LLP, forever. Forever, 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 forever. But again, that's how we play the game as we do this, okay? But again, we'll just block the turds that say snake oil and all this other crap. I mean, there's this circus and zoos out there, and there's clowns everywhere. Again, what happens? Let's take God, family, money. When I say family, it's husband and wife is one. And let's repackage yourself with a rapid rescore. Build your score, block it up and away. And let me show you how I can get you $100,000 of personal and business credit right away as well, structure. Because what we're going to do is repackage your life. Very simple. As we play this game to win. Again, fluctuation in all cards. All cards don't fluctuate again. It's gold and platinum cards. You see, what happens is we get to change our lives if we choose to. But again, friend about buy a house with cash or near, well, in retirement. Well, I would not want you to retire, to be honest with you. I'd like you to think about maybe having a nonprofit with a retirement community or property. See, what happens is they're under the CARE Act right now, they're giving $112,000 a month, nonprofit, okay? They're giving Transportation Act as well. So if you had a property and put it under a nonprofit, a lot of times they waive property tax, and now they give you $112,000 because we're living longer, and that means we need to take care of elderly care. So that's up to $112,000 a month. So retire, why don't you turn what you do next as into hobby? I had a problem when I was 26. 26 years old, I got 2.6 billion of structure. I'm the second largest advertiser in California, having fun, helping people like you all the time. I thought I was going to get fat, ugly, and die. I watched people when I was a kid, when they retired, they got fat, ugly, they died. I was afraid that would happen to me. I didn't want that to happen to me. So what did I do? I kept helping more people. I mean, Tuesday nights, every Tuesday, Orange County. Every Wednesday, Bonaventure, Los Angeles. This is 32 years. Every Thursday, Ontario. Every Saturday, Long Beach, California. So again, I know if it doesn't fulfill his obligation, his company will be belly up. Well, the difference is, understand something. Structure builds finance, builds the dream. So if we do this correctly, he's going to say, this corporation I'm the founder of, versus it's his company. You got to take yourself out of the first person as much as you can. Okay? Do you still have 2 Lambos? We had 21 cars in the car collection, okay? I had 6 Lambos, okay? 3 Ferraris and all kinds of other things as well, but they're not mine, okay? So you must know me from 30 years ago. You see the Lamborghinis and Ferraris outside the events all the time. They were never mine. They belonged to a corporation. I have the key, so I'm not gonna say mine, because that's called dumb. See, when you register a car to you, your problem is you get in a bumpity bump, they sue you. The car should be registered to a division of a corporation. A division of a corporation, that's what the goal should be. The ultimate goal should always be, basically, have some fun and understand how to play the game to win. So as we play this game, our goal is to win. All right, so again, what do? We do not want to ever, ever, ever bring the pain home. Does that make sense? So again, the goal today is DM me, share the live with everybody you can, everybody, simple. And what does that mean? If you help me, I can help you more. Is that okay? How about 3 o'clock today, Pacific Standard Time? You literally go and you have your tab and pen ready to go as I begin literally helping you. I'm going to show you how to create your own blueprint of success for personal and business life and get you 100,000 a month. That's the greatest quote, bringing the pain home. Well, Rich, I'm going to tell you, I wrote, never bring the pain home, stop bringing the pain home. How's this one? One of my books I'm working on. Jesus is not a drive-through.com. How about being a Christian's way of life, not a moment in time? Because people have a lot of blah, blah, blah. So again, I create things all the time that God feeds me visions to. And that's how it works. So we can change our lives if we want to. I would tell you flat out this afternoon, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Look at your clock right now. It is 4:45 in the morning. I'm up every day, literally, okay? And have some fun. Or are you going to replay? This is live. I'm not going to replay anything, Brian. Get off your butt, be here on time. Or go today, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Let me create a blueprint for you. Let me show you the blueprint of success, personal business life, how to do tax balancing, because the IRS is not the problem. You're the problem. Your lack of knowledge is why you do silly things. Simple. The IRS is always going to win. But again, if you learn to play the game, you can offset taxes. Paycheck is taxed. You get the leftover, then you touch is taxed again. But again, have you ever been to Balboa Islands? Yeah, I have. So, okay, why? So what? Yes, I have. Even if you have bad, I don't care if you have bad credit, rebuild the damn thing. Do a rapid rescore, block it. Figure out how to get supply credit to pay down your debt to ratio and rebuild your life. Don't hire these credit repair flaky companies. Could you have saved $20,000 last year in taxes? Sir, you could have saved all the tax you paid last year. If you basically let house payment offset taxes and corporation offsets taxes. It's 3 o'clock, he says, class, sorry, dashboard brings you to the pen and tablet, no problem, fantastic. Rich is trying to help me as well, so the people love that fact. Yeah, Uncle Nate helps me all the time too, they love this. This is my 7th week on TikTok and social media, see if I wanted to do it in the first place. I'm bored at 3 o'clock in the morning, I want to help people, why not? Let me tell them about, the basics about repackaging their life, getting the structure, and then do a blueprint in the afternoon if they want to show up. That's what we're doing today. All right, I got to check the 19 bank accounts, 19 credit cards, 64 credit cards actually, and 19 emails. Okay, all right, that's why I'm scared to believe IRS is going to win. IRS wins if you allow them to win. They're in charge. They're in charge since you got your SSN. They tax. That ties you to the 1040 tax return. Tax balancing is how you can basically pay as much tax as you have to. Again, you watch other people basically understand how to play the game. The IRS is your friend when you know how to know. They're never your friend. The IRS is the enemy. The IRS is the IRS. The difference is we only do tax balancing. Okay, to offset tax as much as we can. Corporations borrow money are not taxable. Debt offsets taxes. Manageable debt, how to play. Okay? What can I do with the IRS and I say, oh, 200, 20,000? There's offer and compromise, Judy. They can go on their website. There's ways to actually do that too. All right, they're going to keep asking questions. I'm trying to go off because I need to go to 19 bank accounts, 9 emails, and 64 cards as well. You have the ability to play the game. As someone says, Ray is the real deal. Thank you. Appreciate it because it's true. So later, man, later as well. Understand. All you got to do today is DM me, share the live with everybody. We'll get back with you right away. 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's very simple. Uncle Ray, appreciate you giving us the game. Well, good luck. Well, the reality is very simple. 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Have your tablet pen ready to go. All right, and basically, if you don't find the link, we'll send it to you as well. I'm nervous, but I like work with you. Well, the reality is be nervous, Miss Candy. Because understand, you have to be because you've been pissing away money. You've all screwed up. Congratulations. You got to quit listening to the circus and the clowns. See you today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Having fun, helping people is the ultimate goal. So far, I'm having a blast. Been on basically social media for 7 weeks. Let's see if I can get 1 million followers right away. I just like to tell you the truth. It'll set you free. All right, we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. Never forget at the end of the day, God loves us all. We get to play the game to win. Isn't that fun? Okay. Now, what did he say to do on this? Okay, I don't want to screw this up. Okay, let's go over here. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?